crafting journey here. That journey took on Instagram. It's my birthday. Yep, not gonna sing. Anyway, if you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm so glad to have you. A lot of you are joining me for the Ticket to Ride event. Thank you for subscribing. Don't forget to hit the like button. He is oft abused. Today, I am tasking him with watching the Weather Channel all day long.
Yes!
Oh, it's not as fun as you think, because I want him to alert me every time there's some high winds. Yeah.
Oh no!
Yes, because we need to hide. So apparently they're predicting a pretty bad snowstorm for this weekend. Right out, if you're out west right now, you're already in the storm. But I'm in the Midwest, and it's headed in this direction. So the colder air is already here. I understand it's 37 degrees in Vegas this morning. What? I know. Can you believe it?
What?
Yes, 37 degrees. Brr. Don't forget to hit the notification bell as well, because you never know when I'm going to go live with maybe a verdict, maybe a pop-up live just to have some fun. Maybe I'm driving to work. You never know. So, how is everybody today? It's hump day. Yes. Well, it's a strange week anyway, because it's another holiday week. New Year's is fast approaching. Got my coffee, got the Christmas tree going here. My sister says, it's still Christmas. I'm like, no, it's my birthday. Oh, and a lot of people have birthdays today. There's a lot of people born on December 29th. And you know what that means? That means that your parents got together and had a good time in April, the previous year. Oh no, earlier that year. Yeah, whatever, yeah. Whatever year it happened to be. I'm not going to tell you what year I was born. Well, I will tell you later on in the show, this day in history. We're going to talk about that. What national day is it? It is TikTok Day. And no, not the app TikTok. No. TikTok Day means this is the day that you know, it's the end of the year. The clock is ticking. It's winding down. 2021 is ending. My thumbnail already says 2022. I've already said goodbye to 2021. I'm over it. No more COVID, boosters, injections. I'm done. Done. If they come out with a fourth one, I'm ignoring them. So, anyway, TikTok Day. This is a day to like think about what do you need to get done by the end of the year. Do you need to make some donations for, to get a tax break? Do you need to, use up your flexible spending account? A lot of people have benefits at work that if you don't use them by the end of the year, maybe, paid time off, you're going to lose it. So don't, this is a time to think about those things. Also things that maybe you didn't do during the year. Did you renew your McAfee on your computer? You got a new computer. Did you transfer McAfee from the old computer to, this is the time or the day, TikTok Day, to think about those kind of things. Do you have a honey-do list? Things that you were just absolutely going to do during 2021 and you still have a few days left that you maybe could get them done? This is the day for that. Now, personally, every year I say, I'm going to lose weight. And I'm going to say the same thing this year. And one of these years it's going to happen. But who knows? This year I'm going to cut out carbs. So we'll see. My sister's like, what about all that toast we have in the freezer? We put our bread in the freezer. Otherwise it would go bad. So I just take a couple slices out of the freezer, put it in the toaster, and we're good to go, because that toast is my favorite breakfast. But I said, no, I'm going to give up carbs. She's like, we got to eat the toast. We got to eat that bread. So I've been eating toast every morning for breakfast. I'd really want to go get a donut, but I'm not. So, I just have to say something to Michaels. They sent me an email yesterday. 80% off sale, clearance sale. I'm like, whoa, that's a good deal. So I click on it. Now, this is not an old email. This is like yesterday morning. It was emailed to me yesterday morning. So I go to the yarn section, and I know I don't need any more yarn. So I go to the yarn section because I love yarn and I'm a hoarder. And they're like $2. Different ones. Some were $1.99, some were $2. So you would click on like, oh, $2 for that. Oh my gosh. So let me go look. So I look at the $2 thing, and they would have like 8 or 10 different colorways for that skein, or whatever it was that was $2. But only one of them would be $2, and it would be sold out. So I'm like, that's kind of fishy. So I checked probably half a dozen of them. Same thing. Everyone that was $2 or really, really cheap, like the 80% off, sold out. I'm like, this is bait and switch, clickbait. Oh my God. Michaels, shame on you, because I dealt very seriously. I found one that wasn't sold out. So I'm like, okay, I want to order 3 of these. Oh, only one available. Shame on you, Michaels. Shame on you. Okay. Just saying. So I ordered nothing from Michaels because I don't like that kind of marketing tool. I do not. You're preying on people, and I don't appreciate it. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Oh, but Diamond Art Club got me yesterday. Yes, they did. They sent me points for my birthday. I'm like, oh, points! Let me check my account. So I had a $25 coupon. Oh my God! You know what coupons do? They burn holes in my pockets. So I'm looking. I'm like, well, I could just order what, because everything on the site was 20% off. So usually when they give you 20% off, they give you a code, and they tell you you can only use one special per checkout. Like, so you can't use your $25 coupon, reward, and a coupon. Well, they had already marked down all of their paintings by 20%. So you could get the 20% price, and you could use your birthday reward, or my reward. So I'm like, this is a good deal. So I'll just pick out one painting. So I picked out one painting. What did I pick out? Oh, I picked out a Randall Spangler. I have never owned a Randall Spangler. It's the one, I think it's called So Many Books, So Little Time, something like that. The books are all stacked up, and there's cookies everywhere in the dragon. So I ordered that one. I'm thinking, oh, but now they're going to charge you shipping. Don't forget shipping. So, I gotta order 2, right? Because I don't want to pay for shipping. So I'm scrolling through, and I see the dragon door, the dragon that's on the doorknob. I'm like, oh, I've always loved that. Click. So next thing I know, I have bought 2 paintings. So I used my $25 reward, which brought the price down to about about $80 for the 2. Then, in my PayPal account was a birthday gift from a subscriber for $25. So I got another $25 off because I used that to pay for another portion of it. So happy birthday to me. I got 2 more Diamond Art Clubs. They're going to sit over there in the corner. Of course, I'm going to unbox them for you. And then they're going to sit happily over there in the corner as my stack gets bigger and bigger. Terrible. Oh well. And then I'm texting my friend last night, and she's like, look what I did. She had bought 2 Diamond Art Clubs. Same as me. Not the same ones, but they got her too. Yeah. I'm telling you, they know how to get you. They've got some good marketing strategies at Diamond Art Club. But you know what else is great about Diamond Art Club? They're sponsoring Ticket to Ride at Destination Paris. Yes, so last night I announced the 7th sponsor for our event in Ticket to Ride, Destination Paris. And we have more to come. I will be announcing another one tonight, another one tomorrow night. Yes, right up until the event starts. Then I'm not telling you what they're donating, but I think it's safe to say most, if not all of them, are giving discounts and donating prizes. Yay! This is going to be so much fun. Oh my gosh. So let's look at today is Melody's birthday as well. Happy birthday, Melody. Also, Joanne's birthday too, and probably a half a dozen more people. This, I don't know what was going on in April, but there was a lot of December 29th births. Yes. What were our parents doing in April? What was going on in April that year? I don't know. Was there bad weather, which kept everybody in the house? I don't know. Interesting. So, so tonight, there's no Craft With Me Wednesday live tonight because I bought tickets for my whole family to go see a light show at the Botanical Gardens. It's called Illuminations. And I will have my camera and I will see it. I'm going to record as much as I can, and hopefully it'll come out well on camera. If it does, I'll show it to you. I don't know if it will or not. But yes, I bought the tickets because that's what I wanted to do. And I'm like, y'all are coming with me. Yes. It'll be fun. That's 7 o'clock tonight. So no live. But don't fear, there will be a pop-up live Saturday morning-ish with myself and the Crafty Heifer to wind down our temperature blanket for 2021 and celebrate the temperature cross stitch for 2022. Yes, I've already done the bookcase. Oh look, I found the temperatures. I wrote them down here in January. So what I did was I put the DMC, you can't see it there. I put the DMC number and then I put the different temperatures. So at the top is 791, which will be 0 to 20 degrees. It's you know, if the high temperatures fall in these ranges, these are the DMC colors that I would use for the book on the bookshelf for that particular month. January. I keep dropping stuff out of here. What did I drop now? Someday I'm going to fall out of this chair. If I do, could you please call 911? They'll get here eventually. I'll know who's watching. Okay, let's put that away. I created a little shelf back here so you don't have things stacked up on the table. I think I'm doing a fairly good job. It's day 2. There's nothing stacked over there. There's a few things. Some chocolates, my crochet. So I continued this crochet project last night. I'm just going to, it's probably way too difficult for me to do on camera. But this is the brim. So I finished the hat part. There's the hat part. And now I am working on the brim part. Isn't that weird? I'm sure it's going to be huge. Yes. So it actually goes this way. So there's the brim. So yeah, there's the hat. It's going to be a slouchy hat, clearly. And there's the brim. It's probably going to be something I have to fold up. But anyway. So the reason I'm not doing it on camera is because you have to work in the back loop of each single crochet. And it's really tough sometimes to get into that back loop. And you're like, I gotta find that back loop. Yeah. So yeah, you gotta kind of dig to find that back loop. And you have to like poke it with your fingernail. If you guys know of an easier way to get this into the back loop. But it really does make a beautiful pattern that makes it look knitted. Anyway, so that's as far as I got on that. And we'll be working on that again tonight while I watch the next story that I have for you. So, what you came for? Crafting and Crime Daily. Thank you, like button. Anyway, the juries in the Ghislaine Maxwell case and the Elizabeth Holmes case are still deliberating. Yeah, I think they're just like, we got the new year, you know, we're just gonna, what do you think? More coffee, donuts. Yeah, we're gonna continue. What's for lunch? What's on the menu? Yeah. But the judge in the Holmes case is becoming very concerned because of the COVID restrictions. So he's like, can you guys just maybe deliberate late? And they're like, no, it's 5 o'clock. We're going home. There's a lot of material to go through in the Holmes case because that testimony lasted months. And hi, Stitch. And in the Ghislaine Maxwell case, I hope they're getting closer because there's not a lot of testimony to go through, to be honest. Hi, buddy. What's going on, little buddy? Hi. What is going on with my buddy? You want to go up there? Pearl's up there. Yeah, you want to go up there? There you go. They have a little basket up here. Hi, buddy. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, so if you start to hear like these little squeaks, that's Stitch playing on his iPad. He's got it's called Mouse for Cats, and he just puts his little paw on the mouse and it squeaks. He likes to just sit and watch it, and every now and then he'll bat it. He's gotten up to a very high level sometimes. Yeah. 300-400 strikes. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So neither one of these cases are cases that I can bring you the live verdict because they're both in federal court and there is no cameras allowed in federal court. You must rely on the artist rendering of what's going on in the federal court.
Oh no!
Yes, and I hate those renderings. Oh my God, those poor people, they look cartoonish when they're rendered. Mm-hmm. All right. So let's continue with the story of Kathy. So where we left off yesterday, we knew of 2 other women that had been convicted of murder for the multiple sudden infant deaths of their babies. And the juries had believed this witness, Roy Meadows, who was an expert, who told them that statistically it was impossible, based, 1 in 73 million chance that this would occur twice in the same family. So they both went to jail for life. That was Sally Clark and Angela Canning. So in the Sally Clark case, now we know that Kathy's just had a 4th sudden infant death syndrome with her 20-month-old. So now she's got 4 babies in the same family. Now these 2 women, Sally and Angela, are in the UK. Kathy is over in Australia. But this is all happening relatively in the same time frame. Sally is an attorney. Her and her husband were both attorneys at the time that she gets this life sentence and she's escorted to jail. So watching on the television is this famous family law lawyer, Marilyn Stowe. She has the biggest family law practice in the UK. So she's watching this woman being escorted into prison on the television. And she's like, wait a minute, I really think this woman's been wrongly convicted. And I'm not buying this. So she sends an email over to Sally's husband. And she said, would you like my assistance in this case? And he said, I would love that. And, we're really having trouble getting these records out of Macclesfield Hospital that, they're just not cooperating with us. So she says, okay, I'm going to help you. So she goes to this hospital. Now there were several clinics associated with this hospital. So she goes to the one where Sally and her husband were registered and where she knows that the last baby was pronounced dead. So she goes to that hospital and she's talking to the receptionist, and the receptionist says, I was here that day the baby came in. And she goes, and the reason I remember that is because the monitors on the baby kept going off to the point that we thought they were faulty. And what she's talking about is they had set up these monitors where they could monitor the babies that were at home, that were, because she had already had one sudden infant death syndrome in the family. So they were remotely monitoring the other baby. This happens a lot with, it's called an apnea monitor, and it can be monitored remotely through the hospital. So she's like, that kept going off, and to the point where we thought that something was going on with the machine. It wasn't working right, the monitor. And she goes, well, did you ever stop to consider that maybe something was wrong with the baby? And the woman was like, She goes, did you ever tell anybody that? She's like, nobody ever asked me. So then she sends her over to a different clinic. She says, you need to go to talk to this other person at this other clinic. I think that person has an interesting story to tell you. So she's like, okay. So she gets in her car. She drives over to this other clinic. And as she's getting into the parking lot, she's approached by someone from administration. And they're like, hello, Miss Stowe. We've been expecting you. She's pretty well known. She's, senior partner in this, like I said, the biggest law firm, family law firm in the UK. They're like, hello, Miss Stowe. We're not allowing you to talk to any of our employees. Bye. So she leaves. So she gets home and she gets a call from the police, and the police says, what are you doing, Miss Stowe? Why are you going to this hospital? She's like, I am investigating the suspicious death of two young children. So they're like, okay. So then she starts contacting the administration at this hospital. And they're like, we don't want you to contact any of our employees. She goes, we don't want you talking to them. She goes, I'm going to continue to talk to them until you start cooperating. If you don't cooperate, I'm going to keep talking to your employees. So they finally agree to cooperate and produce all of the medical records associated with these two babies. Over 1,000 pages of documents. So she promptly copies them and sends them out for review. So some months later, she gets the review back, and lo and behold, they find a page in all of these documents, a microbiology report, that shows that the second baby's cerebral spinal fluid was heavily infected with Staphylococcus aureus, which means that the baby had meningitis. It means she didn't kill the baby. Sally Clark did not kill her baby. So, whoops. So, they bring this to the attention of the appellate court. Now, Sally's been in jail for 3 years now. And the appellate court listens. And now by this time, Roy Meadows is under heavy scrutiny for his testimony. And the appellate court said Mr. Meadows' testimony was grossly misleading to the jury, and that the physician that testified, the pathologist that testified about the autopsy, should have mentioned this report. He failed to mention it. Why didn't you mention this report about the infection? I didn't think it was important. So both of these gentlemen lost their medical licenses. Now, Roy Meadows was able to get his back, but he was precluded from offering any more expert testimony in any case. So now, in the UK, they are reviewing thousands of cases where this Roy Meadows testified to see if there really was sufficient evidence other than his Meadows law to convict these women. It was terrible. Meanwhile, back in Australia, Kathy has been arrested after her fourth sudden infant death from SIDS. They're like, okay, you know, we understand this Mr. Meadows guy's theory is being heavily scrutinized, but you've had 4 in one family, which the possibility of that is just astronomical. So they arrest her and they put her on trial. Now they don't ask Mr. Meadows to testify, because remember, now he's precluded from testifying. But the prosecutor does mention, prosecutor says that to have multiple infant deaths in one family is so rare that it's impossible. This is what he tells the jury. Now he's got no evidence of that, but now the jury has heard it, and they go ahead and they convict Kathy of these 4 deaths in Australia. She's sentenced to 40 years in prison and has to serve 30 of it before she's eligible for parole. Meanwhile, Angela Canning, back in the UK, has served 20 months in jail so far for the death of her 3 kids with sudden infant death syndrome. During her time in jail, she's so revered by the rest of her inmates that they mix boiling water and sugar, which when they threw it on her, and what that does is, by the time you can get that stuff off your skin, you've got really bad burns. So they would throw this on her. The jailers would grab her, take her, put her in the shower, hose her down. But meanwhile, she was suffering all these burns from the inmates. It was really horrible. So this reporter, he sees her case, and he wants to help. He's thinking she's been wrongly convicted, so he wants to help. So he decides, I'm going to review. I think this is something genetic. Now they looked at everything with Angela. Where she lived, what was around where she lived. There was some railroad tracks behind her home, so they thought, is it pesticides? Because there were other people in the neighborhood who had SIDS deaths in their families. Was there, the plants nearby that were emitting some kind of something into the air? They couldn't identify anything that would have caused these 4 deaths. So this reporter says, I want to look at the genetics. So he finds out that Angela's grandmother also lost 2 babies out of the 9 that she gave birth to sudden infant death syndrome. And then he went back to the great-grandmother who had also had a death from sudden infant death syndrome. And he also discovered that in this family tree there was a history of cardiac problems in the women. Then, a couple of days before Angela's appeal is scheduled to be heard, her mysterious half-sister comes forward. She didn't even know she had a half-sister, and the half-sister didn't know anything about her until she found out through this reporter that they were related. And she calls Angela's attorneys, and she says, listen, I'm her half-sister, and I had twins that I lost from this sudden infant death syndrome. The appellate court decides she's been wrongly convicted, and they release Angela, based on, the testimony of Roy Meadows and the evidence that this was some kind of genetic factor that ran in her family. So meanwhile, back to Australia we're going to go. There's Kathy. She's convicted. She's serving her 40 years. She's now been 12 years imprisoned, and she submits a petition for review. Now, by now, DNA has evolved, so they decide they're going to collect DNA from all of these infants to see if there's any kind of genetic markers that they can find as evidence to support that this was sudden infant death syndromes. And in all 4 babies, they find this novel mutation that's known to be one of the best established causes of sudden infant death syndromes. It's in all 4 of her babies. And in the 2 girls, they found cardiac issues that they believed were inherited from the mother. So she's allowed to have a hearing. The hearing officer, all he wants to talk about are her diaries. Remember those diaries that her husband turned over? Her husband, who turned over these diaries, divorces her, remarries, has a baby. He's living happily ever after. Meanwhile, he's thrown her under the bus. So 12 years in prison, she gets in front of this appellate officer. He just wants to talk about the diaries. He doesn't want to hear all the DNA evidence, the scientific evidence. He's making very light of it. And he rules, no, she's going to stay in prison, despite the fact that they have all this scientific evidence to the contrary, that she murdered her children. They had psychiatrists that were willing to testify that she had PTSD after the fourth death, and that the entries in the diary could be easily explained. He didn't want to hear it. This hearing officer said, nope, he would not allow the testimony of any of the psychiatrists. Yep. He ruled that the diaries reinforced her guilt. He would not allow her to be released. To this day, Kathy remains incarcerated in Australia. As of August of 2021, there was a petition that was started back in May. The petition has been signed by over 90 scientists, including 2 Nobel laureates, all saying that, this woman should be released. She did not kill her children. And that was sent to the higher, I don't understand Australian government or the hierarchy, but it was sent to, I believe, like the Attorney General equivalent. And they're waiting for this person to review this petition and hopefully release her. So as of August, just a few months ago, 2021, she is still in prison. Meanwhile, back in England, Sally Clark, who was released, she was the first woman she was convicted for the 2 sudden infant deaths. She was the first woman released. She was the one that was an attorney. She is found dead. She could not recover from the grief of losing those 2 babies and then being convicted of murdering them. She drank herself to death. So unfortunate. Oh my God. She literally died of alcohol poisoning. So sad. So that's the story. Poor Kathy is still waiting to get out of jail, and I hope she does. If I see any updates that let me know that there's been a ruling about whether or not she can get out of prison, I will let you know. But here's the interesting thing. She has this best friend from high school that's been following all this. She's been writing her letters. They write letters back and forth over the last, however many years, 12 years. These letters have gone back and forth and back and forth. And so, now these women are both elderly, not as old as me, but my age-ish. So the woman has said, when you get released, you can come stay with me. So she has set up like this really peaceful environment. She's got horses. And here's the funny part. Well, not funny, but here's the interesting part. Kathy likes animals. So she has all these animal pictures in this one room, really relaxing room, and they're all diamond paintings. I thought, oh my God, that's so cute. Yes, Stitch is still playing with his mouse. But I thought that was really sweet. This woman's going to get out of prison eventually, based on this petition. And she's going to go to this house, and there'll be diamond paintings there to relax her. Maybe she'll learn to diamond paint. Maybe she'll follow my channel. I don't know. Hey, Kathy. Anyway, I think that's really sweet. So that's the story there. What happened this day in history? Well, I think you know. It's my birthday. Yes, on this day in history, back in 1960, I was born. Dwight Eisenhower was the president. But in January, JFK is going to be inaugurated. Just a month after I'm born, JFK is going to take office. So the song that was top of the charts then were Are You Lonesome Tonight? Are you, how does that go? Are you, I don't know how it goes. Are you lonesome tonight? I don't know. Anyway, I don't remember. So that was at the top of the Billboard's Top 100. Movies at the box office was Exodus. Yeah, let's scroll down, see what else is going on. In the UK, Harold Macmillan was the Prime Minister. Okay. We were using rotary phones. Oh my God, do you remember those? You pick up the handle and then you dial. One ring-a-dingy, two ring-a-dingy. How cool. Yes. Oh my goodness. The Apartment won Academy Award for Best Picture that year. In that year, the movies that were released included Spartacus, Psycho, Swiss Family Robinson, The Alamo, The Apartment, Ocean's 11, Peeping Tom, Please Don't Eat the Daisies. Okay. Wow. Trouble Was Brewing in Vietnam. Yes. Cars had tail fins. Oh my God, like these weird ass tail fins. Oh my goodness. Jukebox was at the height of its popularity. People loved these jukeboxes. So funny. This was also a leap year. I was born in a leap year. This was a year where there was 366 days. Yep. I am a baby boomer. What else? What else? Coronation Street soap opera was had just started that month. Let's see what else is interesting. Fashion. Women were wearing these like sheath dresses or button-down shirts and trousers. Trousers were becoming very popular. Yep. Men were wearing polo shirts and sweater vests. Yuck. Not sexy at all. Nope. They were watching Route 66 on television, The Andy Griffith Show. They were watching The Untouchables, The Twilight Zone, Bonanza, Rawhide, 77 Sunset Strip. This is bringing back memories, right, for somebody. I was a baby. Maverick, Perry Mason. Oh my goodness. And the kids were watching Bugs Bunny, The Flintstones, My Three Sons, The Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle, Dennis the Menace. Oh my gosh. Felix the Cat, Bozo the Clown. Oh my God, that guy was scary looking. Oh my God, the Huckleberry Hound Show. Oh, how funny. Leave It to Beaver. Oh my God, Leave It to Beaver. How funny. So that, oh, and Captain Kangaroo and Lassie. Timmy's in the well. Timmy's in the well. And the dog would lead the person to go rescue Timmy. Remember Lassie? Anyway, lots of reruns I must have seen in my early childhood. So, guys, have a great Wednesday. I will try to film the light show if I can. You know, I'll see how it looks on camera. Sometimes those lights don't show up that well because it's very dark and it's going to be very cold. So don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you enjoyed the content and ring the notification bell. So I will see you guys tomorrow in Crafting and Crime. I'll have a new story for you. There's not a new trial that starts until next week. So I think I might bring you the tale of the Chippendales. Ooh, yeah, we got a lot of things to talk about with the Chippendales. Yeah, lots of crime going on there. Yeah, lots of good stuff too. So we'll talk about it. Maybe we'll have visuals. Take care. See y'all later. Bye.